Everybody, welcome in. Good afternoon, good morning. I don't even know what time it is. It's not quite afternoon. But I'm here to talk about insulin resistance. Actually, what I'm here to talk about is your health and why you're sick and how you can start to feel better. Look, I want to introduce, I'm just a normal person. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist. I just got better when no one else could help me, and now I'm on a mission to help others. So I want you to understand something, because most of us are feeling deflated, defeated, and just like left along the roadside by healthcare, and we're struggling. Most of us are struggling. There's some little health issue or big health issue or multitudes of health issues that we have, and nobody's giving us real answers and nobody's really fixing it. So let's start with this. You're not lazy. You are trapped in a system that's breaking you from the inside out, and no one warned you and no one talks about it. They just keep blaming you for why you're trapped. So let's break through some of that today, and let's talk about what's really going on with your health and some real ways to fix it and or help improve it. And let's dive in. So I want to ask you guys something. It's just really real, because you guys, I struggled with all the stuff I'm about to talk about, and I was sick for years. So I want to know, are you doing everything they told you? Eating better, walking more, taking all the pills they give you, trying all the hacks, and you still wake up feeling exhausted, heavy, and defeated. You're trying to push through. You try again and again, but the scale doesn't move. Your health isn't getting better. Your clothes feel tight. Your brain fog is thick, and your body hurts. Okay? You just are trying so hard. You're doing your best, and it still feels like you're falling apart. And deep down inside, maybe you've even said to yourself or started to wonder, is this just aging? Is this just who I am now? Okay. If that's you, put me in the comments, because I want to know if anyone really is struggling with all this like I was and most of the people I know. And I want to be able to help you. I see you, and I want you to hear this part clearly. Okay. Put me in the comments if you're struggling and you're just sick of the system that's got you trapped. Okay. What I want you to hear clearly is you are not broken. You are not weak. You are not crazy. No, it's not all your fault. Okay. What you're dealing with is a silent enemy, one that almost no one is talking about, and it's called insulin resistance. So if you've been hearing the buzz about insulin resistance, there's good reason. And we're going to go into that today. So if no one told you that the root cause of most all of our diseases and disorders and problems is insulin resistance, just know that you're not alone. You didn't miss the boat. Nobody's been talking about it. Nobody's been informing people about it. That's why none of us knew. And guess what? The doctors knew. The food industry knew. Big Pharma knew. Did anybody tell you that it's not about a medication? It's not about trying harder. It's not about counting calories. It's not about all the crazy stuff, all the weird diets and all the go vegan, go carnivore, dude. It's not about any of that. We're going to go over what it's about. So don't feel like you've been left out or that like there's something wrong with you because you didn't know. Because you know what? 4 years ago, I worked in medical and I didn't know all this. Okay. So if you're not broken, you're not weak, you're not crazy, and it's just that no one ever told you, I want you to understand this part too. This is one of the most underdiagnosed and misunderstood metabolic issues in the world, and it hides behind names that sound really familiar. Things like weight gain, fatigue, brain fog, high blood pressure, hormonal imbalance. Izzy, I hear you, I see you. So like hang out with me for just a minute, and we're going to go over what the problem is and what's causing it, so you have a better understanding. Towards the end, I'm going to give you a solution that's real simple and doesn't involve all the stuff that's damaging your body. It will help, but I want you to understand why we're here first, because then the solution is going to make more sense. Okay, the solution will make sense once you understand the problem and the cause. So Izzy, thank you. So let's dive in, you guys. So we know weight gain, fatigue, brain fog, high blood pressure, hormonal imbalance. Now, but you also may have noticed, have you noticed things like sugar cravings, belly fat that won't budge. Maybe your belly's just poking out and you can't get it to go down no matter what you do. You have migraines, you have swelling in your feet, you have mood swings, skin tags, dark skin patches on your elbows, neck, your knees. Um, you have low energy, and maybe none of it made sense. Maybe you thought all of it was unrelated. Like, oh my God, my health's just falling apart. There's all of these things, and we have a dozen different paths to go down. What if I tell you there's one path to go down to fix and take care or positively affect all of that? Because it's way simpler than anybody's been making it seem to be. Okay. So you've probably been told to eat less and move more or take another pill. And every time you tried that, it just didn't work. And every time it didn't work, you blamed yourself. How many of you feel that? How many of you are out here blaming yourself? Put a one in the chat. Blaming yourself for your health. Blaming yourself because you have excess weight, blaming yourself because your energy's down, blaming yourself because you have depression, blaming yourself because your hypertension won't go away, blaming yourself because your joints hurt. And you know, it's just all your fault, right? You blame yourself. Men with erectile dysfunction blame themselves. They're broken, they're imperfect. No, you're not, right? All those things made it worse, right, Red? Right, Izzy? Yeah, yeah. Or women with PCOS. You guys, women with PCOS, we feel just as defunct as men with erectile dysfunction. It's hard on our egos too. But guess what? None of that's your fault, your genetics fault. It has to do with something deeper, but something really simple that we're just now starting to look at. So we're going to dive in, okay? So the truth is, your body's trapped in a cycle it can't escape without help. Thanks, Martin. I see you. So you guys, if you guys want to put in the chat, I'm going to go over a number of things. We're going to kind of go over this, just kind of graze over it. But if anybody wants to know, and if I can answer today without going out and doing more research, if anybody wants to know, or at least I can tell you if what you're suffering with links to insulin resistance. Because if you know that what you're dealing with links to insulin resistance, and then I tell you what the cause of insulin resistance is and how you can get better from it, maybe you can start to get your health issues under control. If you're brave enough and you want to do it, type in there, because like I had hypertension that almost took my life. I don't have hypertension anymore. I'm off of 13 medications. You guys, this is powerful information. And I really want you to hear me. Thanks for the loves and the likes, Tanya Lee. Thank you. You guys are amazing. So, and you know what? If anybody wants to share where you're from, I would love that. I haven't traveled in a couple of years because I got really tired, but I'm planning to start traveling again. And you know what? I would love to meet some of you people as I start getting out and about. Okay. So let me know where you're from. Maybe we'll hook up someday. Maybe we'll meet up and have a real one-on-one talk. Arkansas. Tanya Lee, I'm just in Kentucky now. So I'm probably closer to you than I've ever been. That's crazy. We should plan a trip to get together and meet up, Tanya Lee. Okay. So back to the real thing here. This insulin resistance, when it becomes dangerous, it's because it fuels hypertension and heart disease. Later on today, I'll come in at 3 o'clock. I'll come back at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We're going to dive deep on the heart, and I'm going to tell you how insulin resistance is destroying your blood pressure and your heart. So come back for that. But right now, we're just going to talk about the whole view, okay? It's also behind fatty liver and kidney damage. It's behind why your blood sugar starts going up, even though you seem like all the rest of your labs are healthy. It disrupts your hormones. It leads to thyroid issues, PCOS, erectile dysfunction. It inflames your gut. It triggers IBS, bloating, and digestive issues. It damages your brain, raising the risk of Alzheimer's and dementia. And guess what? It can worsen conditions like ADHD and autism. Yeah. Everybody thinks it's all about the fat on your body or the sugar in your blood, and it kind of is, but all of these things are linked too. Don't skip them. Sleep apnea, kidney failure, liver disease, joints failing, fibromyalgia. All of this is linked in, and nobody's talking about it. Nobody's telling you that the real reason you're feeling all of these ways, all the pain you have, the brain fog, the fatigue, is linked to one thing. And you know what? I'm going to pause right here and say this. If it's not just, hey, Red, Northeast Florida. Now, I haven't made it that far. in Alabama. So I guess if I go down towards Alabama, I'll have to head over to Northeast Florida. Okay, so you guys, the thing is, this insulin resistance is linked to all of those things. Nobody's telling you about it. And this is my hope today. If you hear me today and you understand that this one simple thing, which has a 90-day money back guarantee, we have all kinds of information on that. But if you try it for 90 days and whatever it is you're suffering with doesn't start to feel better, you get your money back. Where else do you get that? So we're going to dive in now. So it's not just about your weight. It's not about the fact that you need to have more willpower. This is about your health. It's about your future. It's about your life. How many of you guys want to start living life again? Because that's where I was 4 years ago. I felt like I had this like wild, crazy life and I had a good time in life and I did all these amazing things. And all of a sudden, here I am in my mid 50s and nothing was the same. I felt like I didn't have any life left in my life. I couldn't get up and down off the floor. You guys, I'm a big 3-year-old at heart. I'm a big 3-year-old trapped in a 61-year-old body. I love to get down on the floor and play with my grandkids. I crawl in the play spaces at McDonald's with my grandkids. I do all the stuff, but I couldn't do it anymore because I was in so much pain. I was so overweight. My joints were failing. You guys, I lost that part of my life. But when I started to figure out, and I didn't even have to understand it. Here's the thing, you guys, you don't even have to understand it. I just saw this method and I was like, I'm going to give it a shot. Because what the heck? If I try it and nothing changes, nothing changes. If I try it and something changes, everything changed. And it did. Now I get up and down on the floor with my grandson. In fact, part of the reason I've been gone is I was playing with him. I picked my 8-year-old up, was trying to tossy-turn him, and he moved and it pinched a sciatic nerve. And so I've been having some troubles. But that has nothing to do with insulin resistance. But the fact that I can do that now is amazing. So Tanya, if you're around in just a minute, I would love to have you on. So Tanya, using the same protocol, reversed her type 2 diabetes, her hypertension, high blood pressure. She's lost 45 pounds. Oh, Tanya, I forgot this part about you. She's reduced her 24/7 oxygen to nighttime only. Now, Tanya, how much has that changed your life? And I'm gonna break the cycle here, you guys. Spoiler alert, it costs you about $5 a day. Tanya Lee, was it worth $5 a day to lose 45 pounds, come off of oxygen primarily, to get your hypertension under control? It has opened her world up. Yeah. You guys, I was at a point where I thought I was done being able to help my family. I'm going to stop right now and share this because Tanya Lee, I've got goosebumps when you come on. The other day, I had a conversation with my family, and this has everything to do. Is there a definitive way to diagnose insulin resistance? I'll come back to my story because I want to answer you guys' problems. To diagnose insulin resistance, there are a few ways, Marianne. So let's talk about that. You guys want to know some ways that you can tell if you're insulin resistant. I'll give you a calculation. I'm going to give you some clues. Right now, Marianne, the truth is, until recently, most doctors, and even still now, most doctors will not test your insulin levels. There's a homeostatic model of assessment, HOMA, insulin resistance test. So what you're looking for is HOMAIR. If your doctor will run that, it's going to help you get a better picture. The calculation you guys can tell if you're insulin resistant is this. It's simple. I have videos on it. So, message me later if you need this calculation again, okay? If you can't find it, because I know in TikTok, you guys, there's a tab that says how to tell. There's a bunch of calculations in there that you can go and look up. I don't have them organized that way on Facebook and YouTube, but message me and I can get those videos to you. So the HOMA-IR is a great test, right? And a lot of doctors are starting to lean into that. The calculation is this. I want you to look at your labs and go to your cholesterol panel. You want to find your triglyceride number. You want to find your high density lipoprotein number, or your HDL. I know that's the good one, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to take your triglycerides and you're going to divide them by your HDL. Now this isn't definitive. I'm going to tell you it's not definitive because this is the resulting number. So say you have triglycerides of 200 and you have an HDL of 50, your number is 3, right? What you want is for your number to be below 2. And really what they're leaning into now is you want that resulting number to be 1.5 or less. Now, a couple of things it's going to tell you is your risk for heart disease, your risk for cholesterol panel that's out of control, and your risk for insulin resistance. But even that's not definitive because some people can have this score at like 1.5 and yet have other symptoms that would tell us that there still is a problem going on. So use that score to kind of get a baseline. And I've answered a lot of questions from people about like, well, mine is 1.5, but I have this, this, and this. And so then we talk about it. Like the other symptoms are this. If you have that big belly that won't go down, I don't care whether you're thin or whether you're overweight, if your belly's poking out and it just won't go down, that's insulin resistance, okay? If you have hypertension, a blood pressure of 130 over 80 or higher, you're likely insulin resistant. 95% of high blood pressure is caused by insulin resistance, okay? And we're going to talk about that at 3. So some of the other ways are skin tags. If you're seeing skin tags crop up, that's insulin resistance. If you're seeing dark skin discoloration, like on your elbows, your knees, what people call ashy, around your neck, around your ankles, anywhere where stuff is rubbing. Ladies, it could be along your bra line. Maybe it's around your waistline. Maybe it's in your groin where underwear rub. That's insulin resistance. PCOS. If you've ever been told you have PCOS, you're insulin resistant. If you have erectile dysfunction and low testosterone, it's very likely that you have an insulin resistance problem. So those are some of the ways, but there's other ways like constant cravings for sugars or salts, constant thirst, having to urinate all the time. Now, people will say, well, if you're constantly thirsty, of course you're going to urinate all the time. Well, no, not necessarily, because your body needs to hydrate. But in the face of insulin resistance, it's so busy trying to get rid of that excess blood sugar that you're trying to pee it out. It's trying to shove it out your in your pee all day long. That's why you're peeing so much. If that's you, whew, take a look. Because I used to be like, well, I drink a lot, and so I go to the bathroom a lot. Well, I don't pee as much unless I'm drinking a lot of water, but I overhydrate sometimes. But those are all symptoms. Migraine headaches, fatigue, brain fog, those are all symptoms. So when you start to add all of that together and you go, this is me, this is me, this is me, your swollen feet, your sleep's not good, you have that fat around your belly, constant cravings, you start putting those together. The more of those you stack together, regardless of that calculation, the more likely you are that you're insulin resistant. I hope that answers that. And maybe tomorrow I'll come back and we'll just do a live on all the ways you can tell. Okay. So we talked about hypertension, fatty liver, kidney damage, thyroid, all of those things. But here's the thing. The scariest part about all of this, you guys, is most people have no idea they're insulin resistant, right? Everybody's wondering, is this me? And you don't know until something breaks and somebody finally says, hey, you're probably insulin resistant. Let's get control of this. You don't know that your fatigue, your high blood pressure, your brain fog or anxiety all come back to insulin resistance, and you're suffering silently because no one gave you the truth. So let me say it again. You didn't fail. The system failed you. Hear it again. The system failed you. It's insane what's happening in our world today and why we're so sick. Now that you know what's really going on, insulin resistance, you can finally do something about it. So what causes insulin resistance? How did we get here, right? We got here because you've been fed lies and fake food for decades, and your body is paying the price. So let's talk about why this is happening to you. Anybody want to know why? Or do you guys think you know why? Because it's simple and yet it's not. We're going to make it simple today, okay? It's not your age. It's not that you're undisciplined, that you're too lazy, that you just need to try harder, okay? Sorry, I'm not very violent, but I just want to throat punch people who act like that. That's just so ignorant. So, and it's definitely not because your body's just broken or you have bad genetics or whatever. The truth is, you've been set up. I've been set up. We've all been set up. If you were born into a food system, a modern day food system that just doesn't care about your health. It really cares about profit. Does anybody feel that? You guys feel that? Like there's a reason we have a health czar now. There's a reason, because we've been lied to. We've been fed fake food. We've been fed fake truths, which are lies, right? And we're wondering why we're sick and we're not getting better. Okay? So you've been set up. Every aisle that you walk down, you guys, it's weird. I don't go through most of the grocery store anymore because I understand more. Every aisle is filled with products that are engineered to hijack your brain, to spike your cravings, confuse your hunger signals, and leave you stuck in survival mode. How many of you guys feel like that? You feel like you're always hungry, you always need energy, and you're just stuck, like just craving and eating and craving and eating, and you just can't get better and you can't get over that hunger? Put a me in the comments. Fortnite. All right, now, yes, I'm a Fortnite player. How did you know, Savali? How did you know I play Fortnite with my grandkids? Okay. I don't know. I don't know if you knew or not. But, all right, so every aisle is filled with these foods that are engineered to hijack your brain, spike your cravings, confuse your hunger signals. It's not just unhealthy eating, it's engineered addiction. The cause of all of this illness we have is the food industry and big pharma engineering addiction in our foods. They know what they're doing. They want to sell more. They want you hungry. They want you to buy more. Because if you ate real foods and you were satiated, you wouldn't be buying as much of their product, right? Oh gosh, it gets into a whole big deep topic. I'm not going to get into it right now, but you've been given food that's ultra processed, it's stripped of nutrients, it's dyed, it's flavored with chemicals, and still somehow they label it as healthy, right? How many of you guys see healthy labels on your food and you know that it's full of chemicals, colors, and crap that you really don't want in your body? Or maybe you suspect it. Isn't it? Shouldn't it be a crime? Shouldn't it be a crime with all the other things in the world they want to pass off on us? Shouldn't it be a crime for them to label these foods full of sugars and toxic seed oils and chemicals and nasty dyes as healthy? That's crazy to me, right? So you've been given those foods that are ultra processed, stripped of nutrients. Fiber, look at this, you guys. I want to talk about this. Fiber is important. I have so many people say fiber is a non-essential nutrient. So when we look at nutrients, our nutrients are doing different things in our body. Although we don't digest fiber, although it doesn't give us direct nutrient value, there are some benefits in fiber. Fiber feeds your gut microbiome, and it's what creates short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, propionate, and acetate that are healthy for us, that give us immunity, that give us reduced inflammation. Fiber can do that. But fiber's been stripped from our foods, engineered out of our foods. Even when you're buying organic, healthy foods, unless you're getting heirloom, they've been modified and genetically modified. So they have less fiber, they have more glucose, they have more fructose. We wonder why we're sick. The fiber also helps you be able to absorb nutrients better than when it's just rushing through your body. How many of you guys eat and then all of a sudden have diarrhea or urgency? Like it's just got to get out of your body. It's running through you so fast you're not absorbing any of the nutrients that could possibly be in there. That's also a clue of insulin resistance. Okay, that's also a clue. So fiber, the very thing your body needs to regulate blood sugar and feed your gut and all that good microbiome, it's been removed. And you know what they replaced it with? Anybody have a guess? Anybody want to type in what they think that is in our food for fiber when they say it's higher in fiber? Is it actually plant fiber? Well, I guess it still is plant fiber. But what it is sawdust. And they relabeled sawdust as cellulose. So it sounds healthier. It sounds better for you. And then they fill up your products with sawdust so they can claim higher fiber. Are you getting the engineered part? You've been set up part? You think you're getting something higher in fiber, but you're getting a form of fiber that does nothing for the human body. Amazing. Again, it should be criminal. I think it should be. So let's not even get started on toxic seed oils. They're cheap. The truth is they're unstable. They're inflammatory. They cause more, sneaky, right? And then they label these inflammatory fats as heart healthy when those seed oils are actually causing more problems with your heart. Now, later today, I'm going to talk to you guys about how fiber actually can help clear your arteries, the right types of fiber. So we'll talk about that at 3. But now, meanwhile, with all this crap, junk, just total garbage that's being put in our food, you the real food, the food that your grandparents thrived on, has been replaced with shelf stable garbage. Now, part of the reason they take fiber out, do you know that fiber accelerates the aging of food? Why it molds quicker, all that. So they've taken the fiber that we could use out and put sawdust in because sawdust won't mold. But they can still call it high fiber. Crazy, crazy stuff. So that shelf stable garbage, Subway meatball subs, right? Those are good, but damn, there's I can't even guess what's in those things. All right, so this shelf stable garbage, it's damaging your metabolism with every bite you take. So if you're always tired, you're always hungry, you're never satisfied, that's why. You think you're getting nutrition and you're getting garbage. Okay? Put garbage in your body's going to put out garbage. So even when you're trying to eat clean, you're probably still getting some garbage that's manufactured and changed, right? You're trying to do it right. Your body still feels off. That's because you've been trying to fix the system. Oh yeah, full of sawdust. Probably so, Daniel. Probably so. Um, you're trying to fix a broken system from the inside the broken system, right? So just like if you're in a dark cave and you want to see light, you got to step out of the cave to see the light. We got to start figuring out how to step out of this system and take our health back. Because working from inside that broken system is not working. Listening to take another pill, eat every 2 hours, count your calories, walk more, all of those things are really just driving you to eat more. And so how can you fix it when you're stuck inside the system? You didn't fail. The system failed you. And I want you guys to understand that more clearly today than ever. So now we're living with the consequences. You're living with the consequences. People in their 40s and 50s are giving up on life. Toddlers are being diagnosed with fatty liver. Teens with prediabetes. And I even have some toddlers with prediabetes. So there's women like me who are exhausted, hormonal, gaining weight, no matter what. And you're being told it's all in your head. I was there, you guys. I had the doctors tell me it's all in my head. I just need to try more, right? I had doctors roll their eyes at me and I'd sit there crying because I was just so frustrated. Have you guys ever felt like crying because you're so frustrated about the system we're in? You're sick, you just want help. You just want to know, how do I get better? And nobody's helping you. You go to the doctor, they hand you a pill, they tell you to do better, and they send you on your way. You come back and they're like, did you do better? But they're giving you advice that's broken. And so how can you do better when you're working on broken advice that doesn't work? It's amazing to me. So let's look deeper because you're not broken. You've been lied to. Okay. So part of it is not just about the foods we eat, the crappy, sawdust, seed oil, high fructose corn syrup, sugar, all the stuff. It's about eating patterns. So remember I mentioned eating 2 every 2 hours? How many of you guys put a 2 in the chat for me if you've ever been given the advice to eat smaller meals every 2 hours, because that's going to boost your metabolism, it's going to help you lose weight, and you're going to start to feel better. All your problems will go away if you just eat smaller meals, but eat them every 2 hours. Put a 2 in the chat if that's you guys, because I want to know. I can't be the only person who was told that. And I bought it hook, line, and sinker for years. All the while I was getting heavier. All the while I was getting sicker. Hey, Michelle, good to see you too. You know what? One of the biggest culprits to our health problem is not just what you're eating. It's how often you're eating. You were told to eat those 6 small meals a day every 2 hours. So that means snacks in between, protein shakes on the go. But most people aren't eating just 6 times a day. When they're given this advice, what they tracked and found is that people who were trying to follow this every 2 hours advice were actually eating 12 to 16 times a day. A sip here, a bite there, constant grazing, constant spikes in insulin. And the pattern is quietly destroying your metabolism. And guess what, you guys? What you destroy in your metabolism can only take about 4 weeks to reset your metabolism, so that constant calorie counting and all of that restriction resets your metabolism to run slower. 4 weeks to reset it could take 6 months or more to get it back to normal after you start acting right, and then you're still fighting all the process in the meantime. Your metabolism gets destroyed by that advice. Okay? Your body never gets a break. It's stuck in storage mode. It's always digesting, it's always storing, it's never burning fat. And here's what most people don't want to say out loud: put the fork down. It's not about how many calories you eat, it's about the quality of your food and the space between your meals. If you don't hear much else this morning, understand that every time you put nutrition in your face, with the exception of fats, you're spiking your insulin. But if it's seed oils, you're spiking your insulin. If it's oils like avocado oil, butter, ghee, extra virgin olive oil, the insulin spike is so minuscule that they say it doesn't spike your insulin. Meats, fruits, vegetables, packaged foods, you're spiking your insulin. So when people say, well, can't I have a handful of nuts because that's healthy? No, you're spiking your insulin. You're spiking your insulin. You've got to stop eating so often. We're not built for it, you guys. We are not built to eat like this. We were taught to eat like this so we could be buying more food, basically. Okay. So every time you eat, it releases insulin, even if it's healthy. And if you're eating all day long, that every 2 hours type of thing, your insulin is spiking all day long. And when insulin stays high, your cells stop responding to it. That's insulin resistance. Okay. And that's the real reason behind the weight gain, the fatigue, the inflammation, the cravings, the hormone chaos you've been dealing with. Anybody hear themselves in all that? Weight gain, fatigue, inflammation, cravings, hormone chaos. Anybody dealing with that? Put a yes in the comments. You guys dealing with any of that? Constant hunger, can't control what you eat, think you got it under control, and then you go into a binge eating chaos coma. Yeah, that's insulin resistance, you guys. That's causing that. And there's a lot of reasons why. I won't have time to talk about all the reasons for that. But that's the real reason behind your weight gain and all of that. You can eat clean and still be stuck. And I've had clients who were doing pescatarian, buying everything from the farmer's market. They were still sick and they couldn't figure it out. They tried the system begrudgingly. One of them actually wrote a nutrition book, and she was like, this isn't going to help. And I convinced her to try it. And guess what? Those 5 pounds that she wanted to lose and couldn't, eating clean, fell off of her. She ended up losing 20 pounds and had to start eating more because her metabolism was acting right finally. And she'd been eating clean, raw foods for years. Okay. So you can eat clean and still be stuck. I want you to understand that, because insulin is still elevated and your body is still trapped. You're not fueling your body in today's modern diet. You're keeping it locked in survival mode. This isn't about eating less. You guys, this isn't about, oh, you just overeat. Well, maybe you do. But it's about eating differently. Okay. We weren't built to eat every 2 hours. Think back in history. When in human history did we have, unless you were a king or a queen in some court or something, when did people have time to stop and eat every 2 hours, prepare food every 2 hours, take time to have a snack, to have like I remember growing up in the woods of North Idaho on a small family farm. We didn't snack at all. Shoot, man, we ate our meals and that was it. Mom was like, if you're hungry, you eat your meal. We didn't have snacks and we were healthy at that point. We grew our own food. Everything was great. What changed was as modern society started changing and there was more packaged foods coming in the house and they were selling us more snacks. Give your kids these snacks. You got to have these snacks when you go on a trip. You got to have these snacks when you watch TV. You got to have, and by the way, we're sitting on our asses too much watching TV, right? But your we're not built to eat the way we're eating. We're not built to live the way we're living. Your body needs rhythm. It needs space. It needs time to rest, digest, and reset and use what it's already given. So here's the big bad word everybody's been wanting me to say out loud: fasting. Even just a few extra hours in your I'm not eating window can help you get those insulin levels down. Fasting doesn't mean, oh my God, I'm a saint. I went on a 5 day or a 10-day fast. It just means, hey, wait a couple hours before you throw that bagel or that cereal or whatever in your face in the morning. And better yet, just don't do that. Okay. So it gives your body a chance to repair, balance, and heal. But right now, your body doesn't get that chance because you're eating all the time. I feel like we should have necklaces with silverware on them. We eat so much. Like that should just be the accessory, because that's what we're doing. We're just eating all the time. Okay. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because you were never given the truth, because you were set up to have to eat all the time. Again, it's still not your fault, but now you have knowledge. Now you better start taking a look at what you know. Okay. You're eating too often. Okay. You're eating the wrong foods. And it again, it's a system that's set up, that you got put in, that you trusted in, that the doctors and the American Diabetes Association and all these people said, oh, look at this food pyramid, go eat that, go do this, go do that, buy more of our products, buy our heart healthy products, buy our full of fiber products, buy our, whatever, that it really, right, sawdust, crap oils, sugar. Yeah, let's buy all that and keep us hungry and sick. No, we're not going to do that anymore. So you don't need another diet. You guys, we're not heading down a big, you got to be carnivore and we're not doing that. We're not doing that. You don't need another diet. You need something that finally works with your body and fills in the gaps that were created by our modern food system, right? So if you know that you're not getting real fiber, you know that you're not getting healthy oils, you know that you're getting way too much sugar, and as a result, you're just not getting nutrients. So I talked about this last night. With insulin resistance, you're not taking up the nutrients in your food as well anyway. And then when we look at the fact that because of our farming practices, our food are 40 to 70% less dense in nutrients, now they're selling you vitamins. Now you go from buying chips and candy bars and sodas and stuff all day long to keep your hunger at bay, and you're buying vitamins because your body can't absorb any of the nutrients that you may be getting because you're insulin resistant. Crazy stuff. Okay, so there's a solution. After everything I just shared, maybe you're thinking, okay, but what do I actually do now? She's talked a lot about the problem. She's talked a lot about the cause, but what do I do? There is a solution, and it's not complicated. You don't need another diet. You don't need another shelf full of pills. I ditched 13 medications. 13. 4 years I haven't filled a prescription. I'm not diabetic. I no longer have hypertension. I no longer have sleep apnea. I no longer have the constant joint pain. I have energy. My teeth and gums aren't bleeding. My eyesight got better. Yes, I still wear glasses, but understand these are about half of what my glasses were 4 years ago. Okay. So you don't need more guilt or restriction. How many of you guys feel like the guilt, the restriction, the gaslighting helped you get better? How much of that helped you? Did anybody get helped by gaslighting? By being told to eat more often? By being told that it's all your fault? By being told, yeah, all of that, sunflower, I get it. That was me too. You guys, that was me too. I was so sick I could be the poster child for insulin resistance. So what the system I'm about to talk about does is it gives your body real support in a way that's simple, sustainable, and proven. So instead of taking medications that you have to watch out for because you can't take them here, you can't take them with this food, you can't take them at this time of day, you have to take it at this time of day, you have to do all this crazy stuff. I had spreadsheets taped to my refrigerator of like all the things that I needed to do, all the supplements I needed to take to try and get my health under control, and it wasn't working. And lo and behold, I ditched it for 2 things that were scientifically designed for insulin resistance and changed my life. Changed Robin's life. Changed Michelle's life. You guys, these people have been doing the system and they're amazing. Like, can you imagine being so sick, so overweight that you had to have 24/7 oxygen? Can you imagine, Tanya, if you're still here, can you imagine the relief that she feels because she no longer has to wear an oxygen mask all day long. Do you know what kind of freedom that gives a person? Did she do a bunch of pills? Did she run and do a bunch of tests and doctor stuff? No. She started the system, and lo and behold, the things she was struggling with got better because she actually addressed the root cause instead of slapping a band-aid on a symptom. Okay. So these products, they've been studied by multiple universities and scientific institutions, including the Cleveland Clinic, one of the top heart hospitals in the world, and the University of Sydney, the makers of the glycemic index. We have studies with the American Diabetes Association, the American Heart Association. We have endocrinologists. We have cardiologists and just doctors across the board who are starting to use this and prescribe it in their practices. Now, when I say prescribe, here's the deal, you guys. What I'm about to talk about can be paid for by your insurance, but it's not in a formulary. So you have to get the prescription from the doctor, buy the product, turn the receipt and the prescription in, and most insurances will cover it. Amazing. It's that powerful. Learning about insulin resistance, how to improve it, and the system has changed your life. You know what, Tanya Lee? If you're around at 3 o'clock when I do the heart talk, I'd love to have you go live then. And maybe if you're still here, I know I said that just a little bit ago. I'm going to get through the rest of this, and then I want to share your story if you don't mind. And now have hope for a future that you didn't have 2 years ago, right? You guys, I feel like Tanya, like I was never as sick as Tanya was. And God bless you for getting so much better and trusting the system. But we have so many similar things. 4 years ago, I thought I would be gone by now. My heart was in such bad shape that I literally thought I was going to have my heart give out in the middle of the night and my kids would have to find me. That's not a pleasant thought for any parent. I'm native. Let's go set me under a tree. Let me go. Do not find me in my bed in a heart attack days after it's happened. That's not what I want to leave my family. What do we eat on the system? So Tanya Lee, you can type in. Actually, Tanya, do you mind? You want to come on right now? If I invite you in, can you come in? So what I eat on the system, in the beginning, I still had hamburgers. I still eat hamburgers now. Today, I'm actually going to have a hamburger. I made it at home, so it doesn't have all the crap in it. But hey, Tanya Lee, do you want to? They're asking what we eat. Now, I can share what I eat, but I'd love for you to talk for a little bit.
Okay, I'm actually in the kitchen fixing to make some cottage cheese flatbread. I do eat pretty low carb. Generally for lunch, I do bacon and eggs, maybe some Greek yogurt with our oasis in it, some cinnamon in it, Ceylon cinnamon. Dinner, meat, veggies. I just really cut out a lot of the bread, pasta, rice, and potatoes. I turned to alternatives for that, like riced cauliflower. I will have potatoes every great once in a while. For me, I feel like there's nothing that is off limits for the rest of my life. I can have it if I want to, but I have the power back now. I choose not to, rather than thinking I can't have that. And I think that's been huge for me.
I think that's huge for most people. I do want to say that, I used to deal with subconscious reprogramming, did a lot of work with the subconscious, but when you tell somebody they can't have something, it's all they think about. Yeah. When you know you can have it, you just choose not to, it's not a problem anymore. Right? So I still have bread. But I just don't do it all the time. So I was on the fence today. I have a brioche bun in the other room. And I have a burger that's ready to be eaten. So do I throw an egg on it and eat it just like that, or do I put it on the bun? I haven't decided yet. But guess what? I get to make the decision. I don't have to go in there and go, "Ooh, I really want the bun, but I can't have it." That sets you up for failure, right? So I probably will have that hamburger. Still undecided how I'm going to top it off.
Well, that's what I'm about to make. I had some ground turkey. And I'm going to make turkey burgers today with bacon, and probably throw an egg on top of it too, and then wrap it in the cottage cheese bread.
The cool thing with the system, you guys, is this is personal. This isn't a thing that everybody has to do the same thing to get results, right? You like look, in the beginning I said I was driving for Lyft and Uber. I never got breaks. I didn't have time to have there was no place to have food in my car when I was driving for 8 or 10 hours. During the pandemic, the only place that I could grab a bite to eat when I had a chance was McDonald's or Jack in the Box. Absolutely. I lost my 55 pounds. Not that I recommend it. Not that I recommend it, but I had a hamburger or something from one of those places at least once a day. I don't do that now. Obviously, I don't do that now. Now, as I've gotten better, I make better food choices, but I get to still eat the stuff I want. I have a little grandson who loves donuts. I don't eat them with him. But so the other thing, like you mentioned, cottage cheese flatbread, you guys, there's so many options out there for you. I just made the other day because I love oatmeal scotchies. Childhood memory favorite thing, right? Mama's getting sick, so you have those emotional triggers. And I'm like, how do I do those without all the sugar? So I made some in a bundt cake pan with in a small bundt cake pan with cottage cheese and egg. So tons of protein, a couple of the chips in it, and some oatmeal. You guys, it doesn't have to be horrible. You don't have to skip out all the stuff. And guess what? If I want a real oatmeal scotchy, I'm going to have it. But in the meantime, I'm going to make a better choice.
Yep.
My daughter's birthday was Sunday. We had pasta. We had 3 kinds of goat cheese and crackers. I made her pavlova with fresh watermelon, strawberries, and blueberries on it, but it was still egg and sugar, right? But I didn't have to skip her celebration. I didn't have to make her feel weird on her birthday. I get to live a real life. I just make better choices in between, right? Now,
Exactly.
I want to hear your story.
Okay. Well, one thing for me is I have a rare genetic disorder. It's congenital myasthenic syndrome, DOK7. And basically that means that there's a malfunction in the junction between my nerves and muscles, a genetic defect. And that leads to muscle weakness, muscle fatigue. The more I do, the weaker I get. And so for me, by a certain point, I wasn't able to exercise and the weight just packed on. And we've all been taught those things. I tried so many different diets and nothing ever helped me. Of course, I didn't understand the root reason why I do now, but then high blood pressure at 30 on medication. At 32, I found out that I had sleep apnea, and that's when I was put on a BiPAP machine at night and supplemental oxygen that I was on 24/7. And so for 17 years, that was 24/7. And then in 2017, I found out I was a type 2 diabetic, which was the thing I was expecting and waiting for because, my mom was and her parents were. And I just thought it was a genetic thing. I actually had a doctor tell me that one time. It wasn't a matter if, it was just a matter of when. I now know a little different, but there it was. And I was struggling. My dosage kept going up. And till April of 23, I was at 10% medicated. And I had been trying to buckle down because it was 11 the year before and make those dietary changes and everything. And I just couldn't get it down. And then I found the system and I started on June 1st of 23. And within 4.5 months, I was off the diabetes meds, the blood pressure, and one I took for my breathing. And I was off the oxygen during the day. Since then I'm down 45 pounds and just able to go and do things that I couldn't. I go for walks and I couldn't walk. 150 feet, I was struggling with my breath and my body was so weak. My muscles were so weak. I just couldn't go far. In fact, we had bought a wheelchair that year. And I was really afraid I was going to have to be in it and using it. And I just saw my health and everything going downhill. And now, I look forward to the future and I see being able to do more. I am doing more.
That's amazing. So I'm going to ask you something because I just saw a comment and I'm a little spicy today. I've been getting a little more spicy lately. You guys, I used to be so afraid all the time and I don't care anymore. So somebody typed in multi-level marketing. So we do have a different sales method, but can I ask you this one question? Did the fact that this came through what they're terming as an MLM did that prevent you from getting healthier?
No,
Are you
not at
thankful
all.
that you found someone talking about this and that you
I
actually
am
got an
so
answer?
grateful. You have no idea. And yeah, I'm grateful.
You guys, it's sad to me that I'm gonna tackle this part. Then we're gonna talk about the two products. But it's sad to me that we live in a world where everybody wants to demonize what everyone else is doing. Look, if you want to work a job and you want to go trade dollars for hours and you want to not know if you're helping people, if you want to not know that have people call you and say thank you, if you want to not know that you saved someone's life, please go do that. But if you want to do something different and you want to really impact people in a way that you can feel good about. I don't feel a damn bit bad about the fact that I've helped a number of people get their lives under control, their health under control, and actually have quality of life again. Does the fact that somebody goes, "Oh, MLM," does that hurt me? No. Maybe it's just not the space for you. Go find a space that is. But for
Right.
people who want real health from and help from people like Tanya, Michelle, and I, who have lived the story, not just sat behind a desk, read about it, and said, I'm going to get better and I'm going to do all these crazy things. And I didn't live it, but I'm going to tell someone else how to do it. We've lived it. Did you listen to her story and how sick she was? Who better to talk about how amazing this can be and how getting insulin resistance under control can change your life. If you guys can't hear her talk, you're just, you're stuck. You're stuck in that system I was talking about. And it's sad. Tanya Lee, thank you so much. Thank you
You're
so much.
welcome.
You guys
Thanks
go
for having
follow
me.
her. And listen to her. She has a lot of good information. She has a lot of good stories that you guys, it could help you because I think what really happens is that, not I think, I know that when someone like Tanya Lee comes on, Michelle, I'll try and get you on later. But when we share our stories, these are real stories from real people who had just given up and wanted something to help when everybody else, the doctors, the nutritionists, the gym bros, were not able to help. I actually had a guy who trains IFBB pro bodybuilders, and he wrote my programming because I used to be an athlete, and he wrote my diet, and we followed it strictly for over 3 months, and nothing changed. And I went to him and said, hey, what's next? What do we do? Because I did everything you said. You said you were the one who was going to help me, and nothing changed. And he just threw his hands up and said, I don't know. He goes, I know you've done everything I said, but I've never had anyone like you who didn't get better from these recommendations. What do you do when your doctors don't help you, can't help you? I actually had a doctor call me into her office, a doctor I worked for in a hormone specialty clinic. We ran every test on me we could to try and figure out my health. We did saliva tests. We did 24-hour urine tests. We did tons of blood work. We did all kinds of metabolic tests. And one day, after getting all of these tests back in, she called me into her office. I was excited. I'm like, finally, we're going to figure this out. I'm going to feel better again. And you know what she told me? She almost had tears in her eyes. And she said, I can't help you. You have a metabolic type that's probably the worst that could come across my desk, and there's nothing I can do to help you. You're always going to be fat. You're always going to be sick. Your heart's going to give out early, and I'm so sorry. So, do I give a shit that MLM is what saved my life when doctors, nutritionists, gym bros couldn't? Nope. Damn thankful for it. Damn thankful for it. Damon, healthy can absolutely be tasty too, but sometimes you want and need a cheat meal, right? So here's the thing. I don't know. I know I said your name right. It's not Damon. It's Damoni, I think. Okay. But right, you want a cheat meal. And here, what I've learned in the last few months is I study constantly, you guys. But what I'm learning about metabolism, because I am not a doctor or a scientist, is that when we start to restrict any food too much, your body desensitizes to it. And then when you do have that break, your body overreacts to something that it's not used to. So, can you have a cheat meal? Can you have a cookie once in a while? Yeah, just don't do it every day. Don't go in the kitchen, bake a batch of cookies and eat it by midnight. Don't do that, right? But you can have them once in a while. You can eat better the majority of the time. This is life, you guys. When in life do we do anything perfect all the time? We can't even predict what's going to happen in the next 10 minutes. Okay? We do the best we can, right? So I'm going to talk about the products real quick. You can stay on if you want, Tanya, or you can hop
I'm gonna
off.
hop off so
Okay.
I can finish making my bread.
Okay, make your bread. I'm going to be making German chocolate bundt cakes out of cottage cheese and egg today, and some chocolate protein, and a little bit of
That would be
coconut.
nice.
Yeah,
I
it doesn't
went
have to
for
be
an,
horrible.
avocado-based brownie thing that I make. It's really good. Uses avocados.
Oh,
So.
I put avocados in my protein shakes when I have them, and it's amazing. Okay, all right, you guys. Thank you, Tanya. So, you guys, what we do, the system is just 2 real food products, scientifically based, clinically studied. We have a tea in the morning. So, we've talked about blood sugars being high. We've talked about food. We've talked about nutrients. The cool thing with this tea is that I drink it in the morning. It's actually what's in my cup now. I have it twice a day. It gives me energy. It gives me mental clarity. It actually increases stamina and endurance by 10%, which is more than any it's 10 times stronger than any naturally brewed tea. But it has an increase in something called chlorogenic acids, which are healthy for the brain, healthy for your GLP-1 levels, and so many more things. But those chlorogenic acids are 375 times more present in this particular tea than a normal yerba mate tea or any other brewed tea. Plus, we put it through a process. Hey, Jason, where we're cleaning it. So we hand pick it. We know that it's the right time of ripeness. We're only getting the leaves. You're not getting the stems and all the other stuff that gets ground up in those ones that you steep. And so you never know how much you're getting. We hand pick it. We fire roast it to get the components that are healthy for you out of that bulk of the plant. We extract it, we concentrate it, and then we take it one step further. We take it to a lab in Switzerland that puts it through a process called hyperpure. Pesticides, environmental toxins, PAHs, microplastics, molds get removed from this tea. Did you guys know that that's what you're getting in your other bagged teas? Mold, microplastics, pesticides, toxins. Is that what you want to drink when you're trying to get better? Thank you, Jason. You are such a stud. You're just doing so amazing. This tea removes all of that. So not only is it 10 times more potent for your energy, 375 times more potent for chlorogenic acids that directly affect your brain in a positive way. It shuts down your hunger. It increases your GLP-1 by up to 70%. Scientific studies show that. So instead of taking a drug that's synthetic, that's damaging you, you're getting your own natural production of something that's shutting down your hunger and that's making you more insulin sensitive, that in a fasted state. So I'm fasting right now. I haven't eaten yet. It's noon and I haven't eaten yet. No big deal. I'm starting to get a little bit hungry. I fast for about 16 hours every day. This doesn't break my fast. In fact, at this point, when I'm drinking this tea, every sip I take is helping me increase growth hormone. It's helping me increase ketones. It's helping keep my blood sugar stable. It's helping regulate my insulin. It's giving me energy in my brain and my body. It's not going to give me a crash. I'm not going to have jitters. I'm not going to feel cranky or tired or crabby afterward. But look, it's not just about energy. Those chlorogenic acids are in there, but there's also theobromine. It's the same mood boosting component in dark chocolate that everybody loves. 3 times more potent in this than the best quality dark chocolate. So you're getting energy and you get mood boost and you get all of that from a tea that tastes like a lemon iced tea. It's amazing. It actually helps your anxiety. Michelle, yes. So that chlorogenic acid, what it does, it's one of the components that can cross the blood-brain barrier and actually get nutrients, including energy, to your brain. So it's part of what? And then the theobromine in it helps with that anxiety, with the depression. I can't tell you how many women, men I have dealt with who are dealing with anxiety and depression, and they're telling me that it's gone or almost gone completely because of the system. That's just the tea. Again, I have it in the morning and then I have it in the afternoon. I'm going to my kids' house for family night. I'm taking one of these with me. I'll be drinking it up until about 8:30 p.m. tonight. I'll still sleep like a baby. Okay. Um, but it's also heart healthy. We'll talk some more about that at 3. This tea helps regulate your blood pressure. Low blood pressure can come up, high blood pressure can come down. It's the components in the tea, but it's also highly dense in all those nutrients that we're deficient in. I don't take vitamins and minerals. I don't have any little gel caps or gummies or any of that stuff. The tea is so potent in vitamins and minerals. I don't take anything else. I'm getting delivery to my system when I'm fasted, and this is helping my body accept those nutrients. Is it any wonder I feel better? Okay. Then, so there's that. It's heart healthy. It helps regulate blood sugars. It helps your GLP-1, helps your energy. It's insanely good. It shuts down food cravings. Okay. But the second part, the pre-meal drink, is what I have before I eat. Now, I have it every time I eat. Even when I eat those cottage cheese high protein delights that I made, I still have one of these. This has 7 different fibers in it, soluble and insoluble. There's phytonutrients in it. It's also heart healthy. It's good for your cholesterol panel. It helps feed those good bacteria in your gut, creating those short chain fatty acids. It does so much more for you than control blood sugar. Yeah, it's going to help your gut start to be stronger and all of the things. So I'm going to answer some questions. How much is the tea? So you guys, I will put a link in here in Facebook, YouTube. There's a link where you guys can go to and check it out right now. On TikTok, because my battery's dying, you just want to go to my profile and check the link below the red light symbols, or message me and I'll send you the link on here if you have problems finding it. I will get you the link. Okay, so the tea is $5 a day, but it's not the tea. The $5 a day, Annette, is 2 tea, 1 pre-meal drink. That's the protocol. You have 2 tea, 1 pre-meal drink a day. Now, if you're like me and you want extra fiber, then you have 2 a day, and you can buy that too. But this system, the tea and the fiber, is about $5 a day. Okay, so it's what, $1.79, something like that, a packet. So I could go buy a soda for more than this. That's gonna cause all kinds of problems in my system, or I can mix this, dump it, actually tear it open and dump it in some water and drink it whenever I want, wherever I'm at. This packet works really great for those little bottles you get at the gas station, wherever I'm at. All I have to have is water, and I have my system. I take it on the plane. I'm going to be traveling next month. I'm going to be gone for 10 days. I'll probably have 1 whole suitcase just of product with me because I will not skip this in my health. Okay. There was a time, you guys, this is a very personal story. There was a time when I wouldn't take a trip like this because my gut was so dysregulated that I was scared to get on a plane, in a car. I wouldn't eat. I would fast before I got on those places because I didn't want to have some devastating accident. My gut was so out of control. I don't have those issues now. And this is all it took. And while I'm doing this for my health, I'm building health in my body and not tearing it down, not just masking symptoms, actually filling in the gaps that caused me to be sick in the first place. Now I'm not sick like I was. So, Yvette, let me write your name down. And if you don't check it, I will try and send you this after the live. And I hope you guys come back at 3. I'm going to go over the 5 ways that insulin resistance causes your heart to be out of control. Okay. That's important because heart disease is one of the biggest killers in the world. And we need to understand that we need to stop losing people for that. And it's simple to start overcoming it. Okay. So the balance, back to the balance. It gives you the exact types of soluble and insoluble fiber, plant nutrients, phytosterols, and minerals that your body needs. So There's a vitamin and mineral panel in this designed to help with your metabolism. So between these, I don't need vitamins and minerals. My body's getting what I'm supposed to from real food and not some pill that's not going to absorb. My body actually uses the vitamins and minerals in there. The fibers do more than just keep things moving. They slow down your sugar spike from your food. They flatten your insulin surge that leads to fat storage. Okay. They feed your gut with what it needs to reduce inflammation. And by the way, inflammation makes insulin resistance worse. It boosts your body's, this even boosts your body's natural GLP-1, not as much as the T, but now you have two products that you're getting the effects of those damaging drugs without all the damage because your body is producing something it naturally produces. Anytime we're putting synthetics in our body, guys, it does damage. So it boosts your body's natural GLP-1, and it even helps clear out your arteries. We're going to talk about this afternoon, and support your heart. And after meals, when you take this with your meal, you're going to feel full and satisfied, but not bloated and stuffed. You're not going to have the after meal crash where you get chills and you want to lay down and suck your thumb under a blanket and watch Netflix. No, that's not going to happen. You'll stop riding the blood sugar roller coaster. Your energy will stay steady. Your cravings will ease, and over time, your gut, your brain, your immune system, and even your heart all start working better. And it's not because you're fighting harder. It's not because you got a new prescription. It's not because you counted your calories. It's not because you went on a 3-mile run like Steve Goggins and sweated your butt off. Okay? I advocate for moving your body, by the way. You just don't have to be that crazy about it. But it's because you're finally giving your body what it needed all along. You're finally giving your body what that food environment stripped away, that system that has you addicted, engineered, addicted. We're putting back what they engineered out so that you can get off that addiction roller coaster. I think that it is that you're walking and changing your calories. No. So I don't ever count a calorie. I used to. When I was an athlete, I counted calories every day. Every night before I went to bed. Yeah, it is. Help me. And you don't have to believe me. Hang out and listen for a while. Here's some more stories. Or check it out because it's listed in the prescriber's digital reference, and it talks about it in the prescriber's digital reference that it does a number of the things that I've talked about. Okay. And in fact, was it the Cleveland Clinic said a product such as this could reduce the need for statin drugs, and just by taking this instead of a statin. Okay. No, because you guys blame everybody else when it's your own fault. You couldn't definitely help me. You are part of the faction that's causing this problem in the first place. When we understand that the food we're being given since birth has been setting us up to have cravings, addiction, PCOS, non-alcoholic. So tell me, is it a 3-year-old's fault that they have non-alcoholic fatty liver disease because their mama gave them fruit juice? Is that 3-year-old's fault? Or is it the food system and the lies we've been told that caused the parent to give the child stuff that they thought was healthy and actually caused them to be sick? Jason says, I don't go walk or do anything different for about 6 months. Didn't. Because Jason was really sick too. And until he got his health back and could walk, he just wasn't doing it. Guys, when you're this sick, sometimes you're in pain. Okay? You're in pain. You never counted calories and couldn't walk when you started. Tanya Lee, exactly. Don't remember drinking fruit juice when I was young, with milk. And so there again, though, they're now saying that cow's milk is not really good for a baby after, I don't know, 6 months? So what were you putting in your body that you didn't need to? Was it your fault that you drank milk and think it's healthy? I don't know. Just try and learn some new knowledge. And maybe people will start to get better. You guys, here's the thing, I can help who I can help, and I don't need to help who I can't help. That's the end of the story. Okay, end of story. We're done. I'm here to help people who need help. And here's the thing. These two products that have been clinically proven, scientifically proven, studied by some of the top metabolic scientists in the world, have a 90-day money-back guarantee. Lentils, beans, and chia seeds, flax seeds, sardines, tuna. Sardines, tuna, sardines, yes, tuna, limit. Chia seeds, flax seeds can increase your estrogen. So I don't know. Maybe you have some more research to do. These have a 90-day money-back guarantee. Did your chia seeds, did your flax seeds, did your sardines or your tuna have a 90-day money-back guarantee? No. You drink plenty of water. We all should drink plenty of water. All right, so for me, the system did more than help. It transformed everything. You guys, it reversed my swelling. It balanced my blood sugar. It cleared my brain fog. And it didn't stop there. I got off of 13 medications. I reversed my diabetes, my hypertension, and my sleep apnea, and even stopped the deterioration in my joints. And it gave me my life back. So I've watched it do the same for so many others like Jason and Tanya Lee and Michelle, who've all been on here to help me with if it's not the fiber, and it's the one commonality between all four of us that have been on this live so far this morning. And I'm sorry, Ben too, 5. I could keep counting. If it gave all of us the results that I'm talking about, what's your problem? I'm not putting other people's food down, but I'm just saying you're putting stuff down. So maybe you should understand better what you're putting in your face, because you're in here trying to put my stuff down, my knowledge down, my education down. I'm not trying to put yours down. I'm trying to help you open your eyes to the fact that there's always other stories, right? There's always other stuff going on. So just calm down. Don't be quite as judgmental and start to understand what's really happening. So all of these people who've gotten better, yeah. Jason, I miss you for that. Jason is just like, no bones, shut up, sit down. I don't do that. But so this is how you fight insulin resistance. We have numbers of people around the world. Look, we're even so confident in it that you have the opportunity to get a free A1C test. So you can test your A1C when you start, wait 90 days, test it again. If you stick with the system for 90 days and you use that A1C and turn it in to an independent lab, you can get up to $150 back over 3 months. You just ask me how that works, and we'll help you out with it. If this was not working, why would we go to those lengths? Why? I don't know of another company who's given these types of guarantees and benefits with anything. Plus being backed in by the PDR. We have 18 natural products in the PDR. We are the only company in the world that I'm aware of that has 18 natural foods, because we're science-backed. We're not just out here making claims. Or, like you can go say, oh, well, flax seeds help or chia seeds help. That's great. Do that if that's what you want. But stop telling everyone else that that's what they need to do, because it may be a little bit different. This has backing in science specifically for what we're talking about. So you're getting real support with real foods. You get to eat the way you love. You're going to make some changes. I'll help you with that if you want. Yeah. And why should we believe your doctor? Because remember, you guys said you don't believe doctor. He is a scientist who made his life about studying metabolic health. He studies it every single day. Your doctor in the doctor's office. A scientist is a doctor. Yes, a scientist is a doctor, not a physician, a family practitioner. The truth is, most of those family practitioners, most of those doctors, surgeons that you go to have never had one nutrition course, have never studied the metabolism in depth, and yet they're put in control of I don't go to a doctor. I used to work for doctors. If I have a broken bone, I may go to a doctor, but I don't go to a doctor. I don't have a need to now. Is that crazy? I was at a doctor's twice a month, every month. I was on 13 medications. I was getting sicker. My doctor was terrified that I wasn't going to be here at 65, and so was I. And now I do 2 real food products that changed my life, and I don't have doctor visits. I don't have all that cost. I don't have copays for medications. I'm not on 13 medications. I don't have a single prescribed medication in my home. Simple, simple. So at the end, because I've got to go, I had a family emergency come up. Guys, I have to apologize. I really wanted to be here at 3. I just got a message. I've got to go. Something came up with the family and I won't be available at 3, but I'll be back tomorrow. So don't go get your A1C done and your blood work. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Okay. Yeah, there's things when you need to have, like, yeah, for metabolism and for my health, do I want to check my blood work and make sure that there's not something going on? Yeah. There's other methods, you guys. There's like scanners out there that help with all of that. And I do the AO scan to check things. But the problem is that we get so stuck in what I'm envisioning, help me right now, is I just envision this world of people, doctors, nutritionists, whatever, and a class of normal people who are just kind of walking along in suits, being told what to do, and we just go do it, whether we know what we're doing or not. I advocate for you, go and do some research. Go and find out what I'm saying is true. Go and do that looking. But most people don't want to. So I try to compile some of the research, bring it to you guys so you can start to open up and understand. And the system helped me get on this path. When I started the system 4 years ago, I had given up on life. I just knew that I wasn't going to live to see my grandkids grow up and get married. That was a reality for me. I cried every night thinking that I was going to leave a huge burden for my family. I was in pain. I could barely walk. I had a walker and a cane, and I had disability plates on my car. I couldn't get up and down out of bed half the time. It took me a long time to get out of bed because I was in so much pain. I don't do that now. So, the bottom line is, was this worth it for me? Like Tanya Lee said, was it worth it for her? Absolutely. Was it worth it for Jason? He can answer that, but absolutely it was. If Ben's still in here, was it worth it for him? Was it worth it for Michelle? Was it worth it for the hundreds of other people that I work with? No, it wasn't not worth it. It was worth it. Oh, I was thinking about notice something else. Anyway, you guys, I gotta go. If you're interested in the system, please check my profile. In that link, the top link, there will be a way for you to text me. You can text me if you're in the US and you don't use WhatsApp. You can do that, and I will answer. Or if you're in another country and you want to use WhatsApp, contact me. Ask me your questions. I don't answer phone calls often because I'm often doing other things. But if you text me, I'll break away and respond back. There's also a way to order the protocol. There's also information on what it all is and a little video on how you do it every day. Just go check out that link. There's no commitment to it. You're not going to be like, oh my God, she's going to spam me now. You're going to go look at a link. You're going to read. You're going to learn a little bit more. You're going to decide if you want to talk to me, and that's it. Okay. So Jason says, I'm alive right now because he listened to me. And he says this all the time. He says, and I don't solicit this. Jason, have I ever asked you to say kind things about me? No, I have never. But it has made such impact in his life and a number of other people's lives that they're like me and they start talking about it. You can't help but talk about it when you're feeling so much better, when you had given up all hope, when you thought life was over, when you thought no one could help you, and you do 2 real food products that, yes, cost me $5 a day, but they changed my life. They saved my life. Is that worth it? Absolutely. You guys, love you all. I will be back tomorrow. Sorry I've been gone for a while. I will get to the heart talk tomorrow, but I got to go deal with family stuff now. And if you know me, you'll understand who this is about and why. Hey, Michelle, it's the best decision I've ever made, Tanya Lee says, for her health and her life. You guys, it is. My kids know this is the one thing that I won't go without in a day. If I have to choose between, which I don't have to anymore, but if I had to choose between groceries or some luxury or this system, the one thing besides my rent that I pay every day is the system, because I never want to have a walker again. I never want to have a cane again. I never want to not be able to walk up and down stairs. I never want to not be able to get up and down off the floor or kneel or play with my grandkids or have those times with them. I don't want to go back to that life. So I will always have this in hand. And I know that Tanya Lee feels the same, and Michelle feels the same, and Ben feels the same, and Jason feels the same. You guys, it's so simple. It doesn't have to be complicated. And when you use my link, and if you decide to purchase, guess what? You get to have conversation with me all the time. Hey, I don't know if I'm getting in enough protein. Hey, I don't know. I'll help you. That's what I'm here for. Okay? It doesn't stop with this live. When you purchase from me, you get help whenever you need it, whenever you want it. If you want to send me a message at midnight, I'll see it in the morning. Send it to me. If my phone is off, I'll see it in the morning and I will answer. That's what you get. You get a 90-day money-back guarantee. You get a quality guarantee. You get a satisfaction guarantee. You get the low price guarantee, all when you use that link. Guys, gotta go. I love you all. I'll be back tomorrow because today's plans got skewed. But you know what? I'm going to say this too. This I do as a business, but isn't that amazing? Instead of being in a hospital, in a doctor's office, in a freaking car driving somebody, my family calls me and they needs me. And now my job is to take care of my family. So there I go. I wouldn't have that freedom otherwise. So if you not only want to get your health back, but want to learn how to expand your financial possibilities in this current economy, hit me up, because it's not easy, but I'm telling you, it's waking up and doing work from my bed in my pajamas, taking off when my family needs me, getting up when I want to, going to bed when I want to. Those are all amazing things I wouldn't give up for anything. Way easier than any job I ever went to with all the toxic stuff in there. Okay, you guys, I'm going to go. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you later.